Hi guys, I just got some more rectifiers in so I could finally test my board here. These are like 35 amp rectifiers. These are completely overkill, but they work and they're relatively cheap. So I have the new board installed, and I have this little clip probe here connected to this first pin right here. And what this little jumper here does is basically isolates the power supply from the rest of the circuit, so you can test it before you put power to the circuit and blow something up. If you mis-soldered or put a resistor in wrong, you'll catch it here before you power up the rest of the circuit. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is actually test this. I'm going to put this on this ground test point here, and that on 5 volts. And that's hooked to the volts range of my multimeter. And we have power hooked up via an isolation transformer, which I don't actually need in this case, but I use it anyways because it's here. So I'm going to put that in, and then I'm going to push this switch, turn it on, and what I'm expecting is these 2 fuse lights to come on down here, but nothing at the top here yet. I also expect to see probably 5.1 volts or so. It may be closer to 5.2 depending on the tolerance of the diode. But anyways, here we go. So this is for smoke test. And looks pretty good. Oh, on a side note, I have the ceramic diode fuse you see there is 300 milliamps, so if something does happen, that will blow first. And everything seems to be okay. And if I go over to the multimeter here, right where it needs to be, 5.1. So yeah, that's the first test. Seems to work. So for my next test, I'm going to jumper this to actually provide power to the rest of the circuit, and then I'm going to test a couple of voltage rails. 5 volts should be fine, but I'm going to check it anyways, and then I'm going to check the 3 volt rail to make sure it's where it's supposed to be. Couldn't find a jumper, so I took a regular female header here and just soldered the pins together, but it should slip on just the same. Okay, so now with that connected like that, that provides power to these 2 LEDs here, and I should light these up a little bit because there's still a there's a slight pull up on the TX and RX lines. Anyways, so I'm going to put this probe in here, and I've taken the grabby clip off of this one because I have test points for 5 volts and 3 volts right here. I already know I need to tweak the LEDs on here because they are going to be very bright. Okay, so yeah, this is the first test with the chip being on, and pretty much everything powered up. And sure enough, there it goes. So if we go ahead and test the first voltage here, which is actually, that one's going to be 3 volts. So if we check that, we're getting pretty much right on 3 volts if I hold the probe steady. Next point, we're going to check 5. And now the circuit is under some load, so I expect it to dip a little bit more. And sure enough, right on 5 volts there. And this light being on here basically means that the AVR is up and running. So everything seems to be working. And now to put the wireless module in there and see what happens.